Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Destination Marketing Podcast. I'm your host, Adam Stoker. We're doing a special live event now from the Connect Travel Marketing Leadership Summit in Orlando, Florida. I've got a couple of guests here with me that, it's funny, I met them here, but they're local from Utah, so we could have done this a lot closer. But I've got Jason Linder from RootRez, and then I've got Mark McGill here. Hey, guys, welcome to the show.
Hey, man, thanks for having us.
Absolutely. I'm excited to chat with you a little bit today. So you guys have a technology built specifically. We'll talk about the story, right, of kind of how it started, but it's built specifically for destinations and resorts, right?
Yeah, destinations, resorts, and events. We basically have a fully custom white label lodging system where we focus on providing a better experience for the consumer in this destination space in a way that promotes the hoteliers, really takes what a destination website is and makes it an e-commerce system for lodging.
Okay, all right, we're going to need to dive into that a little bit today, but we have a question that we ask everybody that comes on the show. It's kind of an icebreaker, and I want each of you to give me an answer here, all right? So, Jason, we'll let you go first. What is your dream destination? If you go anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Right now, I'd say it's Patagonia.
Patagonia.
Yeah.
Why Patagonia?
I've never been to South America. I'd love to travel. I've been all over the world, backpacked the world, spent a lot of time on the road. And I wouldn't say I speak Spanish. I've studied a lot of Spanish.
Okay.
I just love the mountains. I mean, I'm from Park City, Utah, so I love being in the outdoors.
Yeah.
And then just seeing those mountains are just incredible, and I just love to be down there.
I like it. Okay, Patagonia. How about you, Mark?
It's a helicopter. Heli skiing in Alaska. Haven't done it, and it's a bucket list. It's a no-brainer for me. I mean, skiing in Japan, Japao is a big deal. I'd like to do that, but number one would be heli skiing up in Alaska. It's got to make that happen.
Wow. Okay. All right. Sounds like we need to sell a lot of booking engines here to do a heli trip to Alaska, right?
Yeah, they're not free. That's why I haven't done it.
Awesome. Well, thanks for answering that question. That's kind of a staple of the show here. Let's dive into your story. How did you guys end up in the tourism space, and how did you even find a need to build a product like this?
Well, like a lot of startups, I guess, you find a problem in the industry and you try to solve it. So I'm a recovering hotelier. I was actually, Mark and I met in Park City. I was working for a large property management company running hotels there. One of my main clients was the Sundance Film Festival. They were presented with a problem of they drive $40+ million in lodging traffic over a 10-day period. So huge volume demand at a very high price. Consumers, it's sold out, and the consumers don't know where to book. So they're calling Sundance saying, hey, I'm coming. Where do I book? Sundance is saying, we're not in the lodging industry. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
And the hotels are not distributing to Expedia and Travelocity and the others because of the high margins, the high cost. And then on top of that, they have all their sponsors that need a place to stay also. So you have HP, you've got Acura, you have all these big brands that are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars coming in, and they need somewhere to stay. They're also asking Sundance, saying, hey, where do I book? So Sundance is in this problem of bringing in all this traffic, but they don't even financially benefit from, and it's a labor problem on their side.
Right.
So I kind of came from a technology background prior to the hotel side, and so I said, hey, let me build you a software that will be custom tailored to your audience.
So you went to Sundance and said, hey, let me give this a shot.
Yep.
Okay.
I went to them and said, I didn't even have anything. I just said, why is everyone, going to Expedia when there's no inventory? And Expedia treats Park City just like they would New York City or anywhere else. So I said, hey, let's create a system that's custom made to Sundance. If I'm coming to a hotel, I want to know how that hotel relates to the festival. Location, proximity around theaters, rather than the ski resorts, yeah. Right? And I want to do it in a way that empowers the hotels, because hotels don't like distribution in general. So I want to do it in a way that's affordable for the hotels and empowers them to take control of that guest. I always had a position of that it's the hotel's guest, not our guest. So I want to put the hotel and the guest in touch together,
okay,
which provides better guest service and keeps us out of the fray. So that was kind of a general foundation of it. So yes, I came to Sundance and said, hey, let me build you a software. Let me help address all these problems. And on top of that, generate revenue back to your organization. So you're bringing in $40 million in lodging, you should be a revenue beneficiary of that traffic. And so let's capitalize it, keep it all local. That's a big message for us, is book local, keep it local, the revenue's local. So now, fast forward 10 years, that started 10 years ago.
Okay.
They're still a client of ours. We service all of those audiences, so we're essentially an extension of their sales team, lodging side, so they have a place for all those consumers to go, so the consumers have a better experience. We take care of all those details. The hoteliers are happy because we're sending them a lot of reservations at a really low cost. And then the commissions go back to the Sundance Institute, the not-for-profit Sundance Institute.
Oh, interesting.
So now it came from this headache, full circle to a revenue center.
Got it. Okay, that's really cool. So you built that for Sundance. You started helping them benefit from all this traffic they're bringing in financially. How did we start targeting destinations? What was that transition? And maybe Mark, I'll let you take this one. How did you guys make that transition?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question, and I think the really interesting anecdote to the story is when Jason presented that to Sundance, they did have to kind of look outside the box and find other solutions. And coincidentally, Jason and I were in business school together at that time at Westminster College in Salt Lake.
Nice.
But I was his market manager. So I was working as an OTA, a wholesaler, Mountain Reservations at the time, and we bid on that work too, with another company that's called Travelocity, also as a different option when Sundance was looking at that. And the bottom line to the story is that Sundance clearly chose local, right? It was very important to them to host that technology local, and that no one else could really understand what local meant, because Park City was such a unique marketplace with vacation rental inventory and brand hotel inventory. So it was built very specifically to fit that Park City marketplace. And then as that engine came along, and years passed, I jumped over in 2013 to actually work with Jason. And as you build this technology, and it's very purpose-built for Park City, then you realize what's going on with those two really different inventory types. The technology just simply became robust, and it was clear that the product had many other services, purposes. So at that point, Jason had a great vision to launch central reservations in Park City, more 365. So stayparkcity.com was born in 2015. So it was really a destination collaboration, because it's a central reservations software as a service. That's what our product does. And it was clear, simple path with Stay Park City that it was actually filling a need in that marketplace to generally, distribute all of that lodging, present it in a great way, help consumers easily find what they were looking for. And obviously, with that being effective, that's when the light bulb came on and said, all right, this is clearly a product for destinations. And then we've worked with ski areas with lift ticket integrations. So we have ski areas all up and down the West Coast. And now we're really starting to get into the destinations themselves specifically. It started in Vancouver, British Columbia. Believe it or not, that was our first DMO.
Yeah.
We work with Vancouver Hotel Downtown Alliance. And they have a great product and a great story to tell with how they use value adds in our project. So that's a great one. And then it's expanded out from Times Square Alliance in New York City. We've been in Ski, New Mexico in that direction. We have other new clients, new projects coming on board in 2020. We're really excited about building. Visit Salt Lake is going to launch here within the next couple of weeks.
Great.
And then Greater Zion, which is a great brand down in St. George, and that whole area, that's a project that's under construction for not only the destination, but also for the Ironman World Championships in 2021. So that's a great event, kind of keeping us back into our core, where the events and the destinations have a clear correlation, right?
Yeah, so you'll work with a resort or an attraction within a destination, but then you'll also work with the overall destination. And if I'm understanding it correctly, the whole point of it is to make sure that the people that are bringing in that traffic and may not even be able to accommodate can benefit from sending that traffic and distributing it elsewhere. Am I understanding it correctly?
Yeah, I think that's well said. I think until now, they've done a fantastic job of bringing that consumer in. They spend a lot of time and effort on marketing their destination, and then they get them in there, and they don't have an opportunity to control that experience.
Yeah.
From a servicing side and a promotion side, to even revenue generation. Or, one thing we haven't mentioned yet, and one of the reasons we've been successful now in the destination space is we do this, our primary model, we have multiple products, but our primary one is driven about commission-free bookings. So rather than have a system in place that costs the hoteliers money, destinations are very unique in that they're not trying to make money. So that actually took me a little bit to learn. I think at first I was saying like, oh, this is a revenue opportunity. We can help them make money. And then I realized, no, that's not what they're looking for. They're all about how do you best service the visitor and best promote their lodging partners. So that's really the foundation of what we do.
Conversions, that's a big gap. Is the conversion space. It used to be a click. That's not how you measure it. That's not a real conversion.
Right.
It is a conversion if that's your metric, but a click is not an endpoint. They're really driven for visitation, right? Overnight rooms, and that's what we help them promote, is make that happen.
Now they have data to support and to show what their marketing efforts are, rather than saying, "Oh, we sent through a few thousand clicks to a hotel." Now you can show room nights. You can understand what's happening with your consumer live, with what they're searching for, booking patterns, and even to show how much money you're saving that audience. So Vancouver's a great example. Our first foray into the market, they brought us in and did that 0%. We didn't even have that product at the time, and we just felt like a good product for what they were looking for. Their entire objective with us is to drive traffic in the off season. So they're very busy in the summer, and then in the winter it's rainy and they don't have much traffic. And so our entire model with them is to book off-season traffic at a 0% commission to their hotels.
So let me stop you real quick. Okay, so one of the main things that you can do is you can help destinations fill their shoulder seasons through your booking engine, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me, because most destinations have a real shoulder season problem. It's like they'll have stakeholders that complain about over tourism, right, within their destination. But then in shoulder season, in fact, I was down in the Greater Zion area with Breck Dockstetter. He's with Cliff Rose Lodge. We've had them on the show before. And Breck said, now, does this look like over-tourism to you? And we walked out of the front door of his hotel in December, and the weather was beautiful. Everything was great. And it's like a ghost town there on that specific weekend, And it's like, if we can come up with a solution to fill these shoulder season issues that destinations are having huge value, right? And so you've done that for Vancouver, and I just wanted to make sure that we touch on that significantly, since it's such a critical thing for so many destinations.
Yeah, that's a key point. I mean, we always try to say, why book here? Why would you actually book on a destination marketing site, right? And it's about providing value. So in the case of Vancouver, and in St. George, you'd really look at what can we do differently, and especially in the off season. A lot of these organizations have funding specifically for this purpose. So with our system that's very locally focused and customized, they can add value on top of that. So for Vancouver, as an example, if they have, and this really relates when we talk about Southern Utah, all the events that are coming in. So you're coming in for a marathon, let's say, or a wine festival or whatever it is. With our system, they can say, hey, when you book lodging, you'll also get, maybe you get a free t-shirt for the marathon or a discounted entry, or they're doing things that help provide value to that consumer that they're not going to find anywhere else. So Vancouver, we go from booking nothing in the summer months, to booking $3 to $4 million of lodging for them in the winter season.
Wow.
Saving their hoteliers, hundreds of thousands of dollars in commissions.
Awesome. Okay, guys, tell me how our listeners can find you.
Well, we do have a great website, www.rootrez.com. That's ROOTREZ.com.
Mark, you have a nice...
You have a good radio voice.
Right?
Yeah, have you ever thought about leaving and becoming a co-host on a podcast or something like that? No?
He's got to get more... He's got to do more Salesforce first, but then he can.
Nice.
Fair enough.
Nice.
Just email me directly, Mark with a K at rootrez.com. I'm happy to talk to you and help answer any questions that anybody has on the product.
Okay, well, thanks, guys. Great product. Thanks for taking a few minutes to talk about it, and excited to have our listeners check you out.
Yeah, thanks for hosting us, Adam.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Adam. Appreciate it.
All right, and thanks for listening, everybody. We'll talk soon.